Hello, kids. Hello, everybody. Whether you're from the West Coast, from the East Coast, from the South, from the Southwest, the Pacific Northwest, New England, or even my area, the neck of the woods, the Midwest, welcome to a special edition of another video by AJ42K Productions. Today, I am going to bring up something that I have yet to bring up in a long time, but since we're being on COVID for the longest of 2 years, and I'm sick and tired of it myself, no matter what your beliefs are on it, whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, Conservative, Libertarian, whatever you are, I feel you. Republicans, you all suck, especially the Trump-publicans. Democrats, you all suck too, especially the very far left. Very far left. Democrats, feminazis, everything is a trigger with themselves, okay. That's not what I want to talk about, though. What I'm going to talk about is our governor, Pete Ricketts, in Nebraska, and a specific state senator, Megan Hunt, in District 8. No, she is not in my district, but she's not too far from my district. My district has Vinnie Palmero, and I'm so glad to say thank you, Vinnie Palmero, very much. Thank you, State Senator. You've done a lot. But it's not because of State Senator Vinnie that I want to talk about. I want to talk about Governor Pete Ricketts and State Senator Megan Hunt. If you know me real well, both of them I hate. One of them's a Democrat, one of them's a Republican, the other's a Democrat. Both have issues. Both suck, in my opinion, and both deserve to get reprimanded. Pete Ricketts, he's got a lot of shit, and so does Megan Hunt. But there's one specific thing that Pete Ricketts was right about, and Megan Hunt was also right about. So I'm going to let you know something. It's regarding the minimum wage. I'm going to start with Pete Ricketts before I get to Megan Hunt, because even though I hate both of them, that does not mean I can't agree with them. Just because I hate Pete Ricketts does not mean there's things that he's done that are right. And just because I hate Megan Hunt does not mean she hasn't done some things right. Now, don't get me wrong, they both suck regardless, and neither one's very far left, the other's very far right. But I'm going to discuss this topic. Minimum wage and how people should be getting paid. I'll start with Pete Ricketts right now. P.D. Ricketts. I'll call him P.D. because he's not the type of guy to be anything whatsoever. P.D. You don't want to raise the minimum wage? You suck. But hold on. You are right about something, though. Why would I want to raise the minimum wage when most people don't even work their you-know-what off to somehow deserve that minimum wage or raise? As much as Pete Ricketts is right about one thing, he's wrong about something else. I don't want the minimum wage to go to $15 an hour for someone to flip a burger when they don't even do anything to better their lives. That doesn't mean everybody that works at McDonald's, it hasn't bettered their lives either. Hold on. There are people that work $15 an hour, but really do nothing while working. So should they deserve $15 an hour? I agree, never. So Pete Ricketts is right about that part. But what Pete Ricketts doesn't understand, $9 an hour in Nebraska, because it's actually $7.25 an hour for the federal minimum wage, which most Americans still to this day do not know. And yes, it's true. Well, it's outdated. Well, no, sorry. That just because it's a different title of minimum wage does not mean it's federal or state. State and federal is not the same as company minimum wage. Something a lot of people, and especially Americans, don't understand. Still to this day. But since I'm the one that's educated on this, nobody seems to give a. Anyway, so Pete Ricketts, he's right about one thing. Why would I want to raise the minimum wage when most people don't even do anything while on the job? I agree with that. You're on your phones, twiddling your thumbs, whatever job you are, whether you're a bartender, whether you're in office, whether you're a financial assistant, whatever. You're on the phones every single time, not even doing work. Maybe Belichick was right about something, and even though I hate him too, off subject, do your job. I agree, Bill Belichick. It'd be something I could agree with Belichick on too, and I hate him too. Deflated balls guy. Anyway, so with Pete Ricketts, I agree with you, Ricketts. It should not be $15 an hour. But, hold on. It should be above $9 an hour, because $9 an hour isn't enough to feed my family. You got people that make $10 million just to shoot a basketball or throw a football or swing a bat or even put a hockey stick and shove it to the goal or kick a ball. Do you really think they should get that much money when more people that are officers, firefighters, nurses, or whatever deserve that more than these people that are throwing a football or hitting a baseball or shooting a basketball that isn't very far to shoot at? Well, my mom's a state farm agent. What do? I play football. That's not a job. Young woman, you tell it to Aaron Rodgers. You're right, playing football is not a job. I could go outside right now and throw a ball. Hey, I play football. Young kid, thank you, little girl. Let me know people don't remember that commercial, but I do. Anyway, so back to Pete Ricketts. You're right, Pete Ricketts. I wouldn't want to raise it to $15 an hour because most of the people don't even do anything while on the job, and I don't blame him on that. Now, hold on. Should it be $9 an hour? No. It should be at least $11 an hour minimum wage right now. I agree with that for sure. Now let's get to Megan Hunt. Don't get me started. Megan Hunt, I may not like her either, but she's got a valid point on this too. Just because I don't like someone does not mean I can't agree with them on something. Something most people still to this day don't understand. With Megan Hunt's story. Bartenders, servers, massage parlors, hosts, whatever service industry job you do, they make $2.13 an hour. A lot of people don't understand this. It's still $2.13 an hour, no matter what your beliefs are on it, no matter who you think it is, no matter what your opinion is. It's a fact. $2.13 an hour plus tips. Hold on. With Megan Hunt's side of the story, everybody that gets tips, they're taxed. Not all tips are taxed, don't get me wrong, but if they do a card and someone write with a pen how much cash, that's taxed. Now if they give cash, that's not taxed. Hold on. I know what you're going to say. Number two with Megan Hunt's side of the argument. There are people that somehow share tips. Not just only from the person that owns the whole company or whatever restaurant, but also some restaurants like Stella's. Thank you, Stella's. Your good burgers. Stella's, they actually share tips with everyone. They all share tips entirely from every server. Each one. Let's say pretend you get a $1,000 tip. That tip is shared by everybody else too that works there on that shift and whatever day they work there. Bet you did not know that either. Now all jobs don't do this. Don't get me wrong, like Stella's, but every job has this correctly. Tips are sometimes taxed because if it's in cash, it's not taxed. But if it's writing on the thing, like you write $2 for a $10 tab, it's taxed. So just to let you know, Megan Hunt, you are correct about something else. I think it should be raised for minimum wage, for tip people. Now, should it be $9 an hour plus tips? Sorry, Megan. Shut up, Meg. I'm sorry. I do agree with you. It should be above $2.13 an hour because nobody gets the $2.13 an hour, even if they have more tips. $2.13 an hour isn't enough. Don't get me wrong. Let's say if there's nobody that shows up, which I side with Megan on this too. Unfortunately, if there's nobody that shows up in a restaurant and they make $2.13 an hour, and their tips are maybe, if lucky, maybe $10, and they work 4-hour shift, they don't get the $2.13 because they make more money than they do in tips. They make more in tips than they do hourly. They don't get the hourly. A lot of people don't know this. Now hold on. Should it be required to tip someone? No, absolutely not. Because if you're going to be rude to me or give me a bad service for me or to any of my party, you don't deserve a tip. You have to somehow do customer service as well. Because I've been a server before. I've been a bartender before on countless occasions. I agree. Sometimes, I agree with this. Tips are not granted. They are earned. Whoever created the 20% bullshit is lying. It's 15%. By John Tesh radio show Intelligence for Your Life. Thank you, John Tesh. Also, hold on. Now, should tips be required? No, because if you're going to give me a rude service, I don't think you should be tipped ever. Your attitude describes who you are. You give me a bad service, you don't get a fucking tip from me. Now, if everybody else wants to tip you, that's up to them, not to me. Tipping is not required. It is earned. I've been a server. I've been a host. I've been a bartender temporary. I know what I'm talking about. There are people I work that should never be tipped ever. Does that mean I deserve 100% tip for a freaking $3 drink? No. Nobody's worth 100%. Don't get me wrong. Not even myself. If I'm going to Get water, should I tip for that? No. If I get food, yes. If I get drinks, yes. If I get something that's cost something, yes. Now, if you charge for water, you're a jackass. Unless it's bottled. I can understand if it's bottled, but not tap water. I'm not the same guy like I was 5-7 years ago. Now, as I was saying more in depth, people need to understand that tipping isn't required. It is earned. You do a good job, you get a tip. You don't do a good job, you don't get shit. I agree with that model. Tipping is not required, it is earned. You treat me like shit, you don't get shit. Now, if you can give me bad food, I'll still tip you. You can give me a bad manager, I'll definitely still tip you. If you're bad yourself and someone's treating me like shit or anybody else in my party like shit, you don't get a tip. That's final. Now, what about the sorry 10%? That's what the rich privileged say. Shut up, people. Do a good job, you get tipped. Do a bad job, you don't get tipped at all. Bad food, I'll still tip you. Bad manager, I'll still tip you. If you're bad yourself, goodbye. And if you try to trump my ass, which means not by Donald Trump, sorry, don't think it's Donald Trump related, but he probably could do it regardless. If you try to trump me, trumping is technically, I'm giving you a tip, but you somehow keep the rest of the money. That's pretty much trumping. And that did happen to me 3 months ago in a bar in Iowa. I don't want to explain that. It'll be a long story. When a server tries to trump you, you pretend you have a $10 tab. You give them $2. You give them $2 to tip, and they give you $20. Let me explain. Trumping is this. Example. Your tab is $10. You give them a $20 bill. They keep the rest, and you did not tell them to keep the rest. You did not tell them to keep the rest at all. They didn't give back your money. That's what you call trumping. They somehow stole your money without giving any money back to you. They took it as their tip. That is what you call trumping. And it did happen to me 3 months ago in Iowa. I'd rather not explain that story because she did get told. She was lucky to keep that dollar because I was nice. You're welcome. Back to the end. In conclusion about Megan's thing, and let alone Petey's himself. Megan, you are right. It should go up to up more for hourly, but the thing remains the same. Although the difference is, there's still going to be tax on the tipped. Yes, if it's not cash. Now, should they get the hourly for that? Yes, indeed. I think it should go to $7.25, not $9 an hour, because like what Pete Ricketts said, why would someone raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour or whatever when they don't do anything to somehow do their job? Most of these people are on their phones, twiddling the thumbs, texting or calling their kids. I'm like, if you want to know what's going on with your kid, call the school, not the kid. Let the kid learn, get back to work. Work, bitch, get back to work. Get back to work, bitch, get back to work. Work, bitch, lay off your drugs. This ain't Le Petit, get back on the phone and get back to work. So Megan, you are right. Pete, you are right. That's what I would do if I was a state senator or even a governor. Have a nice day. Good week, everybody. Enjoy your February.